isn't a deconstructed frog on the right, so this is a little weird. I think this guy was, as we would say in Los Angeles, an enchilada short of a combination plate, sir. Do you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's normal.
У него речевка, конечно,
this guy might have not
больше
met all the
как шоу,
criteria for
нежели там
normalcy,
про
but
Бостон.
it's still pretty cool. Now, do you see, you can see the frog, right? Everybody can see it now. So do you see the kangaroo? Okay, there's no kangaroo. So if you see the kangaroo, you should probably make an appointment here in this place to do this with you. But if you know locations, you might know this, because this was used in the movie The Departed. This was the police station for the movie The Departed, yeah. That was the facade for The Departed, yeah. Great film, great film. Okay, on our left-hand side, you know who grew up here? Leonard Nimoy, television's Mr. Spock, the second greatest actor in North America. He grew up right over here, and I'm very thankful to see that the West End Museum is once again open. He was one of the people who helped to sponsor the West End Museum before he passed away. A very nice man. And when he was living here, when he was growing up here, it was all tenement buildings. This was a very densely populated area. They said analogous at the time to Bombay, now Mumbai, India. But everybody was just living on top of everybody else, very, very densely populated, you know. You're going to see this building ahead of us on our left-hand side. It looks kind of out of place, but it would have fit right in when Nimoy was growing up here, because this is what all the buildings were like. Yeah, this one refused to sell. It'll be right on your side here, man, when we pass it. It's actually Airbnb now, the last that I heard, on the second and third floor at least. Pretty great location for Airbnb, right? On the right-hand side, there's TD Garden, home of the Celtics, home of the Bruins. I wonder if anything's going on there on Monday. I don't know. I'll have to check this. If anything exciting is happening. On the right-hand side, that's our commuter rail. It goes beyond where the subway system goes, and it's slow but largely inefficient. And then this beautiful bridge is called the Zakum, the Leonard P. Zakum Bunker Hill Bridge. That was at one time the widest cable-stayed bridge in the world. And then the Canadians built a wider one by 3 inches on either side. And what was the most passive-aggressive act in Canadian history? 3 inches. First Justin Bieber, which frankly technically was an act of war, and then that's okay. We like Canadians. They're basically unarmed Americans with health care, but we're upset by that. But we're thankful for Rush, the greatest rock band in North America, Rush. Me and 2 people with musical taste. Shall we go into the Charles River, yay or nay? Okay. Shall we take the duck? Yeah. Okay. Let's do it then.
Should we quack?
Can you drive the duck? I don't see any reason we need to wait till we get into the river, honey.
Похоже, что мы сейчас в речку зайдем.
You want a break? No? Oh, okay. Well, I want you to. Oh, in the river? Okay, yeah, that's a better idea. Probably less paperwork. That's MGH over there. Man's greatest hospital, right? Massachusetts General Hospital. And when they're ranking hospitals, inevitably this is going to be up there with Johns Hopkins, the Mayo, the Cleveland Clinic. I mean, this is a really great. We have so many good hospital facilities. It's one of our principal industries here in Massachusetts, in the Boston area. Brigham and Women's, Beth Israel Deaconess, Boston's Children's Hospital, I think 9 or 10 years in a row has been the best in the world. You know, South Shore Medical Center, each of them has their own little specialties, but MGH seems to specialize in just about everything. This is where they first medicinally used ether. Like, that was a game changer. You know, anybody back there in the medical industry, medical people always tell me about that being a real big deal. I guess prior to the medical use of ether, if you were going into surgery, you know how it would work? They would give you a bottle of whiskey to drink quickly and a piece of leather to bite down on, and you pray to God you passed out before the surgery, you know? And that's if you were the surgeon, I guess. Look over there on the left-hand side, the Museum of Science. There's my mother-in-law. Now, the Museum of Science is interesting. This is the Boston side right here. The Cambridge side is just past this corner. So here we go. Now we're in Cambridge, okay? And you can feel it, can't you? It's brighter, isn't it? Sunnier, warmer. Isn't it interesting? It's fascinating to me. I did a little research. Do you know why it's so much sunnier and warmer here? Because it's closer to the sun. I guess all those wicked smart kids at like Harvard and MIT, you know, to make complex thinking, you know how you have to cool your computer with liquid nitrogen and tubes and stuff. What happened? Where? Oh, that guy over there on a motorcycle? Did you think that I was an actual motorcycle stuntman? Oh, I blame your youth. No, I'm not an actual motorcycle stuntman. No, I'm just an out-of-work actor, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I studied Meisner technique and Stanislavski and Strasbourg and all the best techniques, so I'm really able to fully embody. Max, where'd you go? Oh, I'm able to fully embody a motorcycle stuntman, but I'm not actually a motorcycle. I'm afraid of heights, to be honest with you. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get into the water. This is going to be fun. Couple of nice things to show you here. Coming past the Cambridge Preschool of the Arts. Preschool of the Arts. Isn't all Preschool of the Arts? They're 3 years old. Tell me what else they're doing. You know what I mean? If you want to impress somebody, have the Cambridge Preschool of International Diplomacy. That would be impressive. Cambridge Preschool of Particle Physics. Look at this on our left. You see that slab of concrete? That's a piece of the Berlin Wall that was given to the owner, Bertel Holm, for his 50th. A big old piece of the Berlin Wall. Not bad, right? My 50th birthday, I got a PlayStation, which I thought was pretty nice. Wish I had a television. Now, I'm presuming that my friends from California are skateboarders. Anybody else a skater, thrasher, freestyle BMX, inline skates, street luge, or whatever, wiggleboard, kiteboard or something, razor? Do you guys street slalom? Are you sidewalk surfers? What do you do, quad skating? Are you one wheel? Do you guys go outside? Or on our right-hand side is a 40,000 square foot, $4.9 million skate park. I will tell you, it rivals anything in California. It is a really good park. The only difference is you can only use this one about 6 months out of the year, but it's still a good park. Tony Hawk donated 200 grand of his own money. Vans donated a couple of $1 million, and Merrill Lynch Investments, believe it or not, donated millions of dollars towards this. 2 full bowls over there on the right-hand side. Sometimes in the evening there'll be as many as 12 or 15 full bowls. Okay, you guys, in the event of an emergency, we might have to put on life jackets. If you're under 90 pounds, get little life jackets on the right. If you're over 90 pounds, large life jackets on the left. That's it, very simple. Okay, if we have to evacuate, we put on our jackets, we go out the window. Joe and I are going to go out the front in case they're worried about us. Are you ready? We'll put our hands up in the air, and then when we go down, we'll go woo or something. I don't want to give you a line here, but woo is a good. Okay, here we go. And hit it. Woo! The truck is now a duck, and we are floating in the Charles River. Wow! I feel like I could do this 5 times a day.
Плывет так вот натужно. Амфибия, однако.
Pretty cool, huh, Maxis?
Круто, круто.
Look, there's a double-crested cormorant. He just popped his head up over there. Look at that guy. Oh, back down he goes.
Достаточно глубоко, Света. Он реально плывет. Надо сказать, что плывет он не быстро. То есть за 20 минут, которые мы находимся в воде, он далеко не уйдет.
This has been a kind of a point of contention, not between Joe and I. We get along great. But when Joe got this nice, beautiful, this is a new seat. They make them in Santa Monica. It's like $3,000. Look at that button. Upper lumbar, lower lumbar. This one just says cuddle. That one says chakra alignment. It's like an expensive seat. And he got this nice seat. You know, they said, because he sits there 12 hours a day. I said, yeah, you're right. And then I said, you know, I also sit 12 hours a day. Can I get a new seat? Look what they gave me. Look at my seat. Looks like it was designed by the Torquemada to convert people to Catholicism in 1516 Spain. That's how uncomfortable my seat is. I got a spring. I have to introduce myself to it at some point. You know what I mean?
Да, плывет нам навстречу, а сзади нас еще один такого же цвета, темный.
This is nice. I asked Joe if I could sit here the whole time. He said no, because he's got to see when he's driving. But out in the water, we said it's okay. Now I get to see all you guys. Look at you back there. Hi, everybody. I haven't really gotten to see you guys back there. Hi, friends. Nice to see you. Are you having a nice time?
Yeah.
Should we talk about the river a little bit? You guys want to talk about the river? So the color of the water here in the Charles, one of the things that they talk about the most is pollution in the Charles River, and I will too, because it's a piece of the history. But I want to make a distinction because there's a lot of things that are just naturally occurring that we kind of blame on pollution. And in fact, the color of the water has nothing to do with pollution. It's from tannins, from tannic acid, from tree leaves. It's been this color or variation for a long time, yeah. Anybody who's been around a body of water like a river knows that this is not unusual color, really. But we're going into an old lock, and this old lock is a remnant of the industry. And these two bridges that we're passing under are also remnants of industry. Like, you know, we don't think of this anymore because Cambridge has done a pretty good job not focusing on this part of its history. But Cambridge is the home of Harvard and MIT and John Malkovich. But it was also the home of meat packing plants, textile mills, printing presses, automobile factories, camper companies, watch factories, film manufacturing. I mean, you guys get the idea, right? If you look up here on either side of this old lock, which doesn't function as a lock any longer, you can see the size of the bollards of the Samson posts, which gives you an idea of the size of the ships that would have been coming in and out of here. And, you know, they were all on the river, all these factories, for one reason, to dump into the water. They dumped into the water. Would you mind plugging that in for me, Joe? They dumped into the water completely unfettered by ethics for a very long time. And this is because the byproduct of whatever they made, they couldn't use. And it was actually toxic. And so they dumped it into the water. Joe hates industrial waste. So just as a catharsis, he honks the horn here. It's like it's Gestalt therapy. Your dad's a therapist? What did you say? Can you drive the boat? Oh, can you drive the duck? Oh yeah, we had broached that subject before. You also? Oh man, what am I getting myself into? All right, give me a minute. Let me finish this story, and then we'll have you two drive. Okay? Did you bring your license and everything? Did you bring all the papers? Oh, your kids, yeah, that's a good point. So, when the EPA was formed in '74, they were just looking at the type of contaminants and giving the area a letter grade, and they gave the letter grade D- to the. I mean, you were wonderful. Come on up. Now, if you let me see a camera, I can take a picture if you don't mind. Sure. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. How are you, friend? Good? You all right? What's your name? Danny, did you say? Danny, you're doing a really good job. Turn to the left a little bit, Danny. Okay, now, Danny, look over here. Danny, you know, you are actually driving. This is not like Pirates of the Caribbean. So you're driving. That's pretty cool, huh? Isn't that nice? Now we're going to go straight toward that center span there, Danny. That's called the Longfellow Bridge. Oh, there's another double-crested corner. That's the Longfellow Bridge. Locals will call that the Salt and Pepper Bridge. Yeah. Okay, Danny, good job. Thank you. Well done. Collect your round of applause. Should I keep the same camera here? Okay, come on up, friend. Hey, buddy, how are you? Is that a Billy Joel shirt you got on there, man? Good for you. I just saw Billy Joel. That was real cool over there at Madison Square Garden. Now, he put on such a good show, man. Holy moly. You ever seen him live? Such a good show. I love Billy Joel. Okay, buddy. What's Max, right? Max has gone into some kind of a fugue state. He's very focused now. He's doing crunching the numbers. Max, look over here, Max. Yeah, man. Good job. Turn that wheel to the left a little bit, Max, just because of the impact. Max, thank you so much. Good job. Well done. Collect your round of applause. There you go. One more? Come on. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, no, not Max. Okay. No, that's okay. I hear Max can do one more. Max, look over here. Max is like, yes, encore. I saw Billy Joel do this twice. Okay, good. Now you can come on out. Now we'll swap it up with my friend here. Yeah. Hi. Well, that's a big step. Hi, hon. How are you? Have a seat there. What's your name? Say it again. Maisie? Maisie, like Maisie Gray? Maisie. Oh, like Daisy with an M. Okay, all right. Here we go, my friend. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. That's perfect driving, my friend. Good job. Well done. Collect your round of applause. Other Max gonna drive? Other Max driving? All right, man. Come on up, Mother Max. Let's go to the span that the longboat's coming through, okay? Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to see this guy port to port. Hold it right there, just like that. No, you'll see. Well, hold. No, you keep it right like that, Max. That's good. That is good. Don't turn the wheel, Max. Hold it right there. Don't turn it, Max. Don't turn. Okay, buddy. Here we go. Look over here, Max. Hold it right there. Oh, wait a minute. Something just happened. It went into. I got you. Keep driving, Max. I got you, man. I got you. I think I got it. I don't know. I got it. I got it. It's only 4 digits. I have it. Okay, are you ready, Max? Look over here, bud. Yes, good job. Thank you. Well done. Collect your round of applause. Thank you for passing that. Okay, Max, you got to come out. Okay, you managed to put on the turn signal. Good for you, buddy. You can take it and turn it around if you want, just to be on the safe side. Then we'll have more people come up and drive, okay? Look at this building on the left with the little cupola right there. Do you see that? That's the old jail for Boston. That building, when they had prisoners in there, by the end of its time as a jail, they had 4 men in a 10-foot by 10-foot room with a hole in the middle of the floor that was not a wishing well. And they said, this is cruel and unusual punishment. It's against the 8th Amendment. So you know what it is now? It's a beautiful 4-star luxury hotel called the Liberty Hotel. It's beautiful inside, actually. Yeah. You can see some of the original cells. Okay. Everybody get ready. We're going to have some really nice pictures coming up. And we'll absolutely have him drive as soon as we get turned around. Absolutely, sir. Now, when we come around, I want to show you a couple of things, okay? Look on our right-hand side. You can go ahead and go down the center span, but you know what? Hold on, Joe. There's one coming over here, so let's bring it down to about 1,500 on the RPM and make a hard turn to port, and we'll hold it straight ahead while he passes us, okay? So bring that all the way to port. No other way around. Keep it going. Hold it right there, Joe. That's perfect. Everybody see that that big golf ball? That's the MIT Earth Sciences right over there, yeah? And then we're going to keep coming around. You see a building looks like it was designed by ChatGPT. That's BU Computer Science right over there. And then you see the signal sign. Don't keep going to port. Keep going to port. Keep going to port. Yep, left, there you go. That's the signal sign, that's the lights at Fenway Park. Then you've got the Prudential Center. Now you can kick it up to about 16 or 17 then. And then you got the Prudential Center, the John Hancock Tower, the Hat Shell, the church steeple, everything from the church steeple all the way to the Citgo sign. That is all landfill. That gives you an idea of the scope and the scale of the landfill project. Isn't that amazing? Okay, let's do it. Whenever you're ready, come back over, Joe, then we'll have more people come on up here, okay? Who is next to drive? Oh, this guy right here, I think, right? You, sir. You, sir. Come on, we have grown-ups drive. Come on, sir. As long as you're emotionally immature, come on. Sure. You don't want to drive only? Okay. You do? Okay, you'll be next, and then we'll have you. Thank you for your patience, buddy. Okay, we're gonna have him go first, okay? And then we'll have you come up here. Hi, bud. Now, wait a minute. Where's the camera? Can I have a camera here if you don't mind? Thank you so much, my friend. How are you, buddy? How you doing? Good? What's your name? Miles. Very good, Miles. You're doing a wonderful job driving so far. Do you see that white boat over there coming at us a little bit on about a 10 o'clock position? You see him? Get him. No, don't get him. No, I was just messing up. Okay, you ready? I'm going to take a picture of you, Miles, okay? Here it comes on 3. 1, 2, 3. Look over here for 1 second, Miles. Miles, why are you looking at me? You're supposed to be driving. Good job, thank you, well done. Collect your round of applause, buddy. Take that camera back there. Come on up here, my friend from Miami. Let me see, I'm gonna get a picture of you, okay? Have a seat. You got a voicemail, ma'am. You want me to take it? You just got a text also. Can I take this text? Do you mind? I got it. I'll just say, don't tell me how to run my life. What's your name, my friend? What's your name, ma'am? Holly, you're doing a wonderful job already, Holly. Are you a voter? I can tell you. You got the voting savoir-faire. Okay, here, my friend. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. That's perfect driving, my friend. Thank you so much. Well done, Holly. Collect your round of applause. Be very careful when you're coming down here on that step, my friend, okay? Who's next to drive? No, you already got to go back here. Come on up here. Yeah, come on. Don't be shy, my friend. Hi. Bring your camera up here. Now, I know you are all looking at that smokestack thinking it must be polluting, but in fact, it's a power plant. It's pretty green as those things go. They divert a portion of the river to cool the plant, but the steam is sold over there to MGH, so they use it to turn steam turbines. Now, did you bring the camera up here or something? Did you send the camera up, my friend? A camera or a pencil I can do a sketch? What's your name? Say it again, please. Gemma. Very good, Gemma. From Australia, right? Okay, Gemma from Australia. Are you enjoying your time out here? Now, is it difficult to be on this side of the earth? You feel like all the blood is constantly rushing to your head? See, that worries me. That's why I've never traveled to Australia, because I feel like I'd be dizzy all the time, because the blood would be rushing to my head, you know? Okay, here we go, Gemma. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, friend. Thank you so much. Well done. Collect your round of applause. Anytime, sure. Watch your step, my friend. Who else is going to drive who hasn't driven yet? Give me another grown-up. Give me another grown-up to drive. Yes, right there, of course.
Yeah.
And then the guy behind you. Absolutely. Otherwise, I got to talk more history, man. One here, and one here. Okay, we'll have her, you, and then you, okay? Come on, friend. Hi, how you doing? Albany, New York, right? You're from Albany, right? Come on, have a seat. You work for Albany Mental Health? Why are you telling me that now? What does that mean? You said that as though it was important. There's a lot of subjects there, man. What's your name? Sonny, did you say? Sonny, nice to have you, Sonny. You're doing a great job. With a name like Sonny, mental health is perfect, right? Here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Sonny, good job. Thank you. Well done. Collect your round of applause. Come on up here. You're next, my friend. Watch your step, okay?
Мы на обратном ходу.
I beg your pardon. The dump tours year-round. No, I am no. Thank God, you know. I do them, I've been here quite some time, so I do them about 6 months, but the company does them 9 months out of the year. And so they'll go till all the way through November for certain. And then if it's a warm December, they might go on weekends for a few weeks of December. But then we just shut down until usually around April, the last week of March or the beginning of April, yeah. But still, that's enough to move around 650,000 people a year. Yeah, so they're just in this company alone on 28 ducks, they move a large number of people, yeah. Look at this little area over here. Now, this is a fairly new park. This was on the tail end of what was called the Big Dig. Have you all heard of that, the Big Dig? This was a big old construction project, and this was kind of one of the jewels of the Big Dig, yeah. You do? How do you know about that? Well, oh, what's happening? What happened? Oh, he lost the sticker. He got so excited the sticker blew out of his hand. Have you learned all about it? It's got a lot of big construction stuff. You heard about it, yeah. So this one, I bet you did. Because a lot of people talk about it. It was a big construction project over that expressway. But this was on the end of it right over here. On Wednesday, I believe. Well, who knows? So we don't want to get that far ahead of ourselves. But
Спросили,
yes.
есть ли у них
And the question
запасные
is, will I
амфибии.
be driving in it? I
то
will
знаете,
not,
как
because
бывает.
I've driven in a number of them, and I've enjoyed it, and it was really fun. But it's also high tension. There's literally millions of people in the street. In the 2004 one, I wasn't here then, but there were an estimated 4.5 million people. But I was in the 2013 one, and there were over 1 million, and it's no joke. They're all around and they want to get to the dock. So, but Joe wants to do it, and Joe might get to. I'll be on the sidewalk enjoying it this time around. Yeah. And you had a follow-up question, ma'am?
Не знаю пока, что вы видите, но потряхивает тут как следует. По идее, камера у нас со
Yeah, the whole
стабилизацией.
company will shut down that day.
Но
Yeah. And if you remind me,
трясет
I want
основательно.
to take this gentleman's question, but if you remind me, I'll tell you about the beginning of how they started and everything with that. Go ahead, sir.
No, just curious. They built jail right on the water.
Yes, they did. And in fact, so let's look at it. When we go by, we can see it. Sometimes I'll bring it up on tour. Okay, you see a red brick building here that looks like condos? You see that building right there? That is the Suffolk County Jail. Yeah, and in fact, it looks like condos for a reason, because when they got permission to build the jail, everybody who lives here in the West End, who post-urban renewal spent a lot of money to live in that area. Or the pre-urban renewal, it was just a normal working class area like the North End or something. Post-urban renewal, it was an upper scale area. A lot of people couldn't afford to move back there. And then they decided they were going to put the jail in there, and everybody thinks they wanted nothing to do with it. You're going to bring our real estate values down. So they agreed to have this basically a look like it's condos, but if you look at it, you don't see the bars. The accommodations are that the bars are inside the windows. That's one of the things that they did. And they put mirrored windows out there, so they really did try and dress it up.
такая
It's
хохмочка,
very
что там
subtle.
тюрьма
Most people
стоит,
don't even believe that it's
похоже
a
на
jail.
кондо,
It is.
потому что жители возражали,
Yes,
что
ma'am. The Old North Church. Okay.
упадет
Well, now let's see.
недвижимости. И,
We're going to see the location
соответственно,
of the Old
значит,
North
приняли
Church.
решение строить так, чтобы
But
не
I'll show
выделялось.
you pretty close to it. Now, if you look to the left over here, that's the Bunker Hill battle site. Okay, that marks the site of the Battle of Bunker Hill. That obelisk that's in the distance, that some people say looks like the Washington Monument, but in fact, the Washington
Нет, там, за
So
мостом.
that area right over there, right at the foothills of that, would have been where the Old North Church lanterns were seen. So if you just were to look straight across, basically where the other side of the Sachem Bridge is, that's in the north end. And the Old
Я думаю,
North
что он
Church is
шутит.
there. Sometimes
Наверное,
we can
шутит
see
он.
it from one particular position, but we are not going to be in that position today.
Я не знаю.
We don't go into the north end anymore. The roads are far too small and narrow to but the Old North Church, and that is where the lanterns were put up. And if the section of the church is in a good mood, or you get the right person, they will actually take you up there. It's not easy. I've been up there. I've been in the lanterns, and tell them you're a tour guide or something, and maybe they'll take you up there and let you go. It's pretty interesting. But you know, the Midnight Ride is one of my favorite examples of how the whole of American history is just lie after lie. I mean, when we tell the short version of things, we're just not telling anything akin to the accurate story. Paul Revere was actually captured on the Midnight Ride. He never finishes the ride. Oh yeah, there were tons of people, Prescott and Dawes and Israel Bissell. He actually met up with a guy called Dawes. They both got captured. Dawes was thrown from his horse. Prescott was the one who finished the ride. Israel Bissell continued to ride. He just, he wound up riding basically all the way to Pennsylvania to warn militiamen. Now, he was never saying the British are coming, the British are coming. We were all British. Say that again, ma'am. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the song about him, yeah. Well, there's even a famous band, Paul Revere and the Raiders, But we did this kind of stuff in music, too. Like, there's a song, the song, womp, 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 down by the river. You know that? That's the Standells, right? You know who else loves that song? Everybody in Boston. Go to a Red Sox game. You're guaranteed to hear that, and you're guaranteed to hear Sweet Caroline, because the organist granddaughter was named Caroline. He started playing it years ago, and that's why everybody sings it. But when they're singing down by the river, everybody's going like this because it's like a love letter to Boston, right? Do you know what the story behind the song is? Do you want me to tell you? So the singer's name is Ed Gunn. The band, the Standells, is from Santa Monica, California. Okay? They were playing here in Boston. They were walking from the combat zone. Ed Gunn gets mugged. So he calls his manager and he's like, hey, don't book me Boston anymore. This is a long time ago when it was unsafe. It's not the case anymore in that area. But he says, I've been in Philly, I've been in New York, I've been in Chicago, I've been in Detroit, I've never been mugged. He says, no more Boston. And his manager's like, just write a song. He's like, you're a songwriter, take your vengeance out in song. Read the lyrics. People never read lyrics. Do you know how the people in Boston are referred to? Muggers, thugs, and thieves. That's how they refer to the people in Boston. And it says, the young women down in Harvard won't go out past curfew. Do you know why? Because at that time, the Boston Strangler was also on the loose. So it's basically what we now call a diss track. And when he was talking about the dirty water, that was the era when Boston was given a D-, by the contaminants. Isn't that crazy? But everybody's always doing like this, This used to be, you might be able to see the Old North Church when we make this right turn, but you'll have to look back now. This used to be a little pond right here. Let's see, if we make a wide turn, keep looking back, and look between a copse of trees, and you'll see a white steeple, as you'll see the Old North Church. Maybe. I think you probably can. Now, I just see the tippity-tip. I see the tippity-tip peeking up from behind the tree. But when you go to the North End, and everybody should, there's 122 Italian restaurants in a half mile of the North End. So the only reason you don't want to go to the North End is if you're gluten intolerant. in which case you probably would have avoided going there. But otherwise, you'll have a really, really good time. And go see that. Go see Paul Revere's house. It's all on the Freedom Trail, which is 2.5 miles of historic significance, 18 stops, and it's really very good. Do you know why Paul Revere got the poem written about him to begin with? Because Longfellow, who was a poet, yeah, he was married to a woman called Appleton, who was part of that old money on Beacon Hill. He's like, I can trace my lineage back to the fish people, you know, and they would tell family stories. And it was during the Civil War. And he was a professor of English and a poet, and he liked the metaphor for a person riding into the darkness using their voice to call people to fight against an injustice. It was pre-Civil War. And so he says, well, I'm going to write a story about Paul Revere. That's why we don't get a story about Bissell, because she wasn't descended from Bissell. She was descended from Revere, you know. Yeah. And there were lots of people whose names we may never know, you know. And he was a silversmith, but he was also a coppersmith. He did a hardware that's on the USS Constitution. He was a very talented guy. And an engraver. Oh, should we quack at them? Airtime. Okay, good. Any other questions about anything before we get into the old stuff? Going once, going twice, no questions? Okay, come on, let's keep moving then. What's happening? Some kind of a... Oh, this is the Boston Portuguese Festival. Oh, that's really nice. Look at that. I'm going to have to go over there. I lived in Cascais. I lived in Lisbon for a little while. What a wonderful place that was. I'll have to come over here and get some pastel de nata. You guys ever had a pastel de nata? So good. You know what I'm talking about? Did you live in Portugal? Oh, wasn't it wonderful? It's so wonderful. One of my favorite places, honestly. I think it's one of the best kept secrets. Everybody goes to Paris, and Paris is great, but man, Lisbon is an unbelievable city, the whole area. So the Boston Portuguese Festival, come down here. This is City Hall Plaza. That's Boston City Hall. This building always makes an Architectural Digest as one of the ugliest buildings in the United States. It's really something else. I don't know if it deserves that, but it is. It's not too great to look at. So when this light turns green, look to the left and you're going to see a little red brick building with some gold filigree and some gold, a little cupola, and a lion of the unicorn on top. That's the old King's State House. That's where the Boston Massacre happened. Just look past that old tea kettle right there. That's the old State House where the Boston Massacre happened. You can go in there. That's part of the Freedom Trail now. It's a subway station on the bottom, the second and third floor. It's a really good museum about the Boston Massacre and other elements of American history. This is called the King's Chapel Burying Ground. That was the oldest burying ground in Boston. And, you know, the Granary and the Central were the three original burying grounds of Boston. And they're much more densely populated than they appear to be. The Puritans really had no compunction about reusing the plot, you know. There's the Omni Parker House Hotel, which is the home of the Parker House Roll and the Boston Creek Pie. On the right-hand side, you've got, there's my friends from Maine. Over there on the right-hand side, that's Sam Adams. See, not this guy in the jorts, but the dead guy. Although I'm glad to see jorts are making a comeback. So there's Sam Adams, John Hancock, Robert Tree Payne, James Otis, Paul Revere, Ben Franklin's parents, Elizabeth Fairgoose, Crispus Attucks. They're all buried in this burying ground. People ask me how many people are buried here. We don't know. Anybody who gives you a real number is not giving you a real number. They're giving you a made-up number because we don't know. There's you know, ground scanning sonar. We've tried to get an estimate, and it's estimated at around 10,000 people because they don't mark the graves. Every grave individually is not marked. You didn't buy a plot, you bought only a marker, so the plots were free and reused. Mother Goose is there, Elizabeth Bear. Did you all hear that as well? Okay, good. I thought I was being called home. You know, the truth is that they claim to have another Mother Goose in England. It's another woman named Elizabeth Fairgoose. But I think that most historians think this was the real Mother Goose. It was her son that published the stories. But Elizabeth Fairgoose is there, kind of next to Sam Adams, in fact, yeah. Oh, is that right? Is that what they did? They used ground scanning out there to find the witches or something that were here? Yeah.
Yeah, they did the ground scanning out there.
Is that right?
Yeah, and they found like the trajectory using 3D imaging.
Wow.
To see where the actual hangings were.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. No, I did not know that. That's really interesting, though. Salem is a fascinating place to go there. I mean, obviously, the thing about the witch trials that they don't often talking about is that, you know, I mean, it's obvious they were witches, but the fact of the matter is most of them were widows, a lot of them were widows, and they just wanted the land, you know. They'd say, hey, you know, such and so forth wants to marry you, and they'd say, no thanks, they'd go, you're a witch. And then, you know, that was it. We did it over here too. There were lots of supposed witches and also Quakers. Oh, that's called the Embrace. That's the newest monument in Boston over there. That's MLK and Coretta Scott King embracing around one another there. He went to school here. He went to BU and she went to Symphony School. And then this is Emerson up here on our left. Emerson is one of our 50 institutions of higher learning that I really like. They have a focus on the performing arts, theater, film, television, journalism, which now apparently counts in the performing arts. You know, went to Emerson, the Fonz, Dennis Leary, Emerson, Jay Leno, Emerson, Stifler's mom, Jennifer Coolidge, who's a groundling, or was a groundling. Yeah, really, really good Emerson. I like it. And thankfully, Emerson has been buying up all the old theaters around here because theaters have been going under. You know, a lot of them barely survived COVID. And we have some really beautiful theater venues here. Sometimes Broadway plays will open here to, you know, to shake out the problems, and it's really, really nice. So this is actually the Emerson Cutler. There's the Emerson Colonial now, you know, because the theater world is like any other industry. It has ups and downs, you know. It's been in a downtrend now for 130 years, you know, so I'm kind of glad that they're just keeping them alive. Look, Lewis Black is coming. Oh man, I'd like to see Lewis Black, but what's he got to be angry about? Ellen DeGeneres is coming. We get some pretty good people. My favorite show I ever saw here, Mel Brooks, Father's Day, 5 years ago. My wife gets me tickets in the front row to see Mel Brooks, my son and me, with Blazing Saddles. He came out, and at first he did the movie, which you ever see it with a live audience. It's like fantastic. And then he comes out and just talked for like 2 hours or something, standing on the precipice of the stage, you know. It was so good. These guys just are genius. Oh my gosh, Richard Thompson, this is going to be good. Yes? Wow, this is really cool. We got a good bunch of theaters here. A lot of pretty good comedy scene here as well. Yeah. Shang Wang, look at that. Who's that? Donnie. Is that Donnie Osmond? Donnie Osmond? Look at that. He doesn't look a day over 30, Donnie Osmond. You know? What do you think he's having done? Duncan Trussell? Watch out. You got that guy in front of you there? All right, let's do a little more quacking here, you guys. I feel like our quacking levels is low. Brian Regan, I like Brian Regan. Okay, here we go. Let's find some people to quack at. Oh, these people over here minding their own business, eating over at the Hello, guys. Let's give them a quack. Okay, here we go. Airtime. Yeah, good. Oh, wow. There's a subtle undercurrent of menace in your quack. It's really interesting. I really like it. There's Nick's Comedy Stop over there. There's the Blue Man Group down there. That's pretty cool. You ever see the Blue Man Group? Really good. I like the Blue Man Group. I got an audition once for the Blue Man Group. Right here. Yes, you can. But we'll have to pull over and do that. Okay? And so let's pull over here. We're not really supposed to go.